You're not alone. If you need someone to talk to today, please contact Crisis Services Canada by either calling them at 1-833-456-4566 all hours of the day, or you can text them at 45645 at 4 p.m. to 12 a.m. Eastern Time. Remember, you're not alone, and Crisis Services Canada is here to help. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to this week's edition of The Prospect Show, a live edition of The Prospect Show here on ASTV Productions. Hopefully, you guys have had a wonderful Monday. I know it's always tough getting out of bed to go to work on these Monday mornings. I know for school as well. Monday is always one of those days where it's a bit tougher to get out of bed, especially with this time change here in Manitoba. You know what? Actually, it's a bit brighter out in the mornings now, so not as bad. That's a plus for sure, getting an extra hour of sleep. But yeah, welcome to this week's edition of the Prospect Show, everybody. This week's edition of the show is brought to you by TOVI Hockey, Caisse Financial Group, and Pilot-Mound Hockey-Academy. We're starting a new segment here. It's going to be a weekly segment here on the Prospect Show. I don't know what we're going to name it yet, but it's going to be us taking a look, talking to players that are advised by MCN Sports Advising, and starting off the first ever edition of the segment, a player that is advised by them is Caisse. He's an 06 defenseman who plays in the Alberta Elite Hockey League. He wears number 7. He is eligible for this year's WHL draft coming up in December. Gonna ask Caisse about that. The preparation for the WHL draft, what it's been like being advised by MCN Sports Advising, as well as his career with the Leduc Oil Kings, which is the team he plays for. He's currently playing for the U18 AAA team in the Alberta Elite Hockey League, of course. And also going to ask Caisse, who he is, do a little Q&A, ask him some good questions, some stuff he likes to do on his pastime, good stuff like that. So without further ado, let's start off this edition of the Prospect Show. Going to play the intro, and then we'll bring on number 7 for the Leduc Oil Kings U18 AAA team, 06 defenseman number 7, Caisse Ganske, on this edition of the Prospect Show on ASTV Productions. Wow! And there he is, Caisse Ganske, joining the show here on this Monday night, Leduc Oil Kings defenseman. And Caisse, thanks for taking the time. I know you said you had practice earlier today. I got to ask you how practice went here earlier tonight.
Yeah, it was great. Good pace. We had really good practice, yeah.
Yeah, that's great to hear. Always nice to get on the ice as well anytime you can. Of course, hockey season in the full swing of things. How enjoyable has it been this year getting to, get back to some normal, getting in more of a routine, playing more hockey than you did last year?
Oh, it's way better. It's nice actually having a full schedule, playing week and week on. It's great.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I bet that it's nice to get back. Growing up, I played hockey myself for 12 years, playing minor league hockey, and it's just no better feeling than stepping on the ice, being with the boys, and getting to play the sport that you love. I gotta start off with this, getting to know you, Caisse. Starting off with who Caisse Ganske is.
Well, my name's Caisse Ganske, 15 years old, and I love playing hockey.
Right on. And I didn't ask you this before we started up, but where are you from, Cash?
I was originally from Fallen, Alberta, and I live now in Leduc, in Alberta.
Awesome. Awesome. So staying in Alberta, growing up in Alberta, what's been your favorite part of growing up in the province of Alberta?
I love the weather. Winter's awesome, and then yeah, and then hockey's great here too. It's good, competitive. Yeah.
Y Yeah, for sure, and, I feel like it's been documented throughout, the course of time that Alberta produces a lot of great hockey players. You talk about how you love the winters. Here in Manitoba, it gets, pretty darn cold in, the wintertime. Sometimes we hit about -45. I'm assuming it gets pretty cold
Oh,
sometimes in Alberta during the wintertime?
oh yeah. Not as cold as Manitoba, but it gets pretty cold here too.
Yeah, for sure. You like getting on the ODRs and stuff when you get an opportunity to in the winter?
Oh, I love it. Just going out with our friends. It's a great time.
Awesome. Well, you obviously have a passion for the game. Obviously, trying to pursue a career in hockey. You're going to be eligible for the WHL draft coming up here in December this year in the 2021 WHL draft. But when did you start playing hockey exactly, Cash?
Well, like the first time I've gone on ice was like when I was 7 or 8 years old. I've just played hockey throughout my whole years in Retashman, Alberta, and I haven't stopped.
What would you say was that moment when you first fell in love with the game? Was it that first time you laced up the skates and hit the ice for the first time, or was it a moment more down the line?
Well, first couple skates, didn't enjoy it as much. Couldn't really stand up.
Mm,
But once I got in and playing and getting better and all, around like my age 10 or something like that, I started to love it and knew I wanted to do it for the rest of my life.
that's awesome, man. Yeah, I remember I started off by doing skating lessons. Learning
Hmm.
how to skate, and I absolutely hated it. But as the years went along, I also fell in love with the game as well. So
Yeah.
it's funny to hear that you didn't enjoy it as much the first couple times being on the ice, but fell in love with the game later on. Looking at it, of course, hockey a big part of your life, but outside of hockey, what does Cash Ganske like to do in his spare time?
Well, once hockey season's over in the summer, I love to go golfing with my buddies. I really love golfing. I started like a couple years ago, and it's awesome. And then when I go camping, I like to go down and mountain biking. It's really fun.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Mountain biking does sound like a lot of fun.
Hmm.
Getting out camping, I assume you camp with your family. Talking about golf, as it's something you've started more recently in your life compared to hockey. How would you describe yourself as a golfer? Would you say you're pretty good, average, or maybe not so good? How is Cash Gansky at golfing?
Well, I started like 2 years ago, so right now I think I'm like pretty good for myself. Yeah, I
Ah,
get yeah decent amount. Yeah.
That's great. What would you say is probably the strongest part of the golf game out there? Is it you hitting the big dog off of the tee? Is it you on the fairway? Your game in the rough is that good? Is it the short game, the putting? What's your strong point in golfing?
Definitely my driver now. I used to be terrible at it, but I got a little better and I learned a new thing, and now I can just hit it really far.
It's awesome. What is the farthest ball that you have ever hit? Do you have a number you could give us?
Oh, probably around like 260, 270 yards with my driver, rough
That's
estimate.
pretty good. That's pretty
Yeah.
good, especially with you starting off, pretty recently getting into the
Hmm.
sport. Looking at it, is golf probably your favorite sport besides hockey, or would you say is there another sport that comes to mind?
Golf probably is after hockey, and then I enjoy basketball sometimes. I used to play that in school, but after hockey got so competitive, I had to stop playing it.
Right. Of course, basketball, there's the NBA and college is a huge thing as well. You a big
Hmm.
March Madness fan there, Cash?
Not really. More of a Boston Celtics guy.
Boston Celtics, yeah, a storied franchise for sure. Is there a favorite
Oh
player
yeah,
you got in the NBA? Is that on the Boston Celtics? Is your favorite player on that team?
yeah. His name's Jason Tatum. I love
Jason
that team.
Tatum. Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I don't watch much NBA, but I do know what everyone talks about is Jason Tatum, one of the best young players in the game today. So
Mhm.
definitely a good one you picked there, Cash.
Yeah.
Looking at it, would you say that hockey probably your favorite sport to watch, or would you say you kind of lean towards another sport as your favorite to watch?
Hockey's definitely my favorite sport to watch. I just love it, and the NHL is such a great sport. It's awesome to watch.
Yeah, you a Edmonton Oilers fan, Calgary Flames fan, or another team comes to mind when you think of your favorite team?
Florida Panthers.
Florida Panthers. They're
Oh
off
yeah.
to a heck of a start this season. You
Mhm.
got guys like Alex Barkov, Jonathan Huberdeau,
Yeah.
some other great players on that team as well. Is one of your favorite players? Would you say your favorite player comes from Florida Panthers, or who's your favorite player in the NHL?
Cam McCarr is probably my favorite, and then close to would be Aaron Ekblad. He's a good defenseman, but it's
All
gotta be
right.
Cam McCarr is my favorite.
Right on. Would you say that you model your game after one of those two players?
Yeah, I think Cam McCarr. I have some similarities to him. I'm very fast. I have great edges like him. Can get around the ice really well.
Right. That's great to hear. Definitely a great player to model your game after.
Mm.
One of the best defensemen in the NHL already at such a young age, which is crazy. But
Yeah.
in terms of meals, Cash, favorite meal, if you had to pick a meal to choose to eat every day, what would that one be?
Oh, I love pizza. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, probably pizza. Yeah.
Yeah. What anyone in particular, you a pepperoni guy, maybe you just go simple with just cheese, or maybe you like to spice it up a bit, maybe you got some peppers, some onions on there. What would you say is your go-to favorite pizza to eat?
I'm a very plain guy, so I like cheese.
Yeah, cheese.
Yeah.
It's definitely a safe bet. It tastes good too. Nothing
Mhm.
wrong with cheese being the favorite type of pizza for sure. Obviously, hockey players. I know a lot of them love to listen to music before games. A lot of people love to listen to music on their pastimes. You have a favorite genre of music that is your go-to for in terms of music that you listen to?
Not really. I like most of all of the genres, but before like a hockey game, I like to listen to like some hip hop or pop, like rap, just to get pumped up and all. But
Right
yeah,
on, right on. I know, like you just said, there's no genre in particular that is your favorite, but in terms of hip hop, who are we talking here? Is that go-to guy for you before the game, or is it various hip hop artists that you listen to?
oh, Lil Baby, you ever heard of him?
Yeah,
He's a
yeah,
good
I've heard of Lil
yeah,
Baby. Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I
He's
gotta
probably
say, my favorite rapper, and I know this is probably an unpopular opinion, but it has to be Kanye West. Absolutely love all of his music. And Lil Baby, I'm pretty sure he was featured on Kanye's new album, and I have heard some
Oh
of
yeah.
Lil Baby stuff. Yeah, yeah. In terms of favorite TV show, movies, you a big TV or movie fan here, Cash?
A little bit. I like to watch the movie the odd time. Yeah.
Yeah, so you'd say that it's more movies over TV shows for you.
Yeah, I like to watch movies over TV shows. Yeah.
Yeah. Is there a favorite movie in particular, or maybe a movie that you've seen most recently that has really stood out to you?
Right now, I don't really have a favorite movie show. Oh, yeah, not at the moment. Not really. Can't think of any.
I guess let's go with this one. Is there a favorite type of genre of movies that you like to watch? Maybe you're more of a comedy guy. Maybe you're more of that serious thriller, scary movie type of guy. What do you say is probably, if you had to put on a movie, the genre that you're going towards?
Definitely comedy. That's pretty much all I watch for movies is comedy. I love the jokes.
Yeah, comedy is good. Once you get that good comedy movie on, if the material's hidden, it's definitely you're in for a good time for sure. Gotta ask you here, Cash. Not sure if you have one. Is there a celebrity crush for you?
Oh, I don't know.
Not a
Uh,
favorite celebrity crush. I had a feeling that
uh,
maybe not, maybe not. I had to throw that one in there though. But you know, a place that maybe you'd like to visit in the future, a place that you'd like to see in your lifetime.
oh, I think probably Hawaii or something like that. South with the beach and the ocean would be
Right.
pretty nice.
Right, and it kinda lines up with your favorite hockey team, the Florida Panthers, as, they have,
Yeah,
I don't know the word specifically, but they play in a very hot state for sure,
yeah.
some really nice weather, so I could have seen that one coming for sure as one of your, places to visit. A place that you visited so far in your lifetime that you'd like to visit again?
Well, when we go camping, we go to BC and we go to like Kelowna and Vernon and all. And Kelowna is a very nice place. It's nice and hot, and the beaches are awesome. So I'd love to go back there.
Right on. A guy that loves the hot weather for sure.
Mhm.
Maybe down the line you get drafted to the NHL, get drafted to one of those places that has some nice weather, or maybe in the future you just go out and experience some hot places like Hawaii or some other nice places. Like Cash, we're going to take our first commercial break in the show. This was a fun start to the show, but we're going to get a bit more serious, talk about hockey, your time with MCN Sports Advising, as well as, the preparation you're, getting into the WHL draft talk later on the show. Joining me for this edition of the Prospect Show is Cash Ganske, '06 defenseman from the Alberta Elite Hockey League, playing for the Leduc Oil Kings. I'll be right back with Cash here after this commercial break. Stick with us here on ASTV Productions with more Prospect Show with Cash Ganske after this commercial break. Welcome back to the Prospect Show on ASTV Productions, everybody. Of course, this is a live edition of the show here on this Monday night. Hopefully, everyone has had a great Monday. We're slowly chugging along here in 2021, I guess. Fastly approaching on the new year as it's already November. Time does really fly here, Cash. But joining me here is Cash Ganske, '06 defenseman from Alberta, playing in the Alberta Elite Hockey League for the Leduc Oil Kings, U18 AAA Hockey League. Looking at it, Cash, or before we went to commercial break, during the last segment, I had a chance to ask Cash about who he is, when he started playing hockey, what does Cash like to do when he's not playing hockey, and some other great stuff as well. A guy that really likes the hot weather, enjoys it. But now we're going to get down to business here, Cash, talking about just your career with the Leduc Oil Kings. Of course, you've played with the U15 AAA team. You're now on the U18 AAA team. You played 37 games in total with the U15 AAA team, racking up 5 goals, 7 assists, and 14 penalty minutes in 2 seasons. Just looking at it, when you first came into this program, this franchise of Leduc, what type of player you were back then?
Back then, I was probably more of a stay-at-home defenseman. I haven't really had the offensive trait yet, but through the years, I've gained more offensively and gotten a lot better.
Right on. Would you say that that just came with just more confidence of getting more opportunity out there if you just, transition into being more of that offensive player?
Yeah, once I came to Leduc, I had a great coach, and he gave me lots of opportunities to go and show what I can do, and he just helped me along and gave me way more confidence and made me grow as a player.
Of course, like you said, you came in to Leduc, that U15 program as more of that stay-at-home defenseman. That definitely had a chance to develop throughout your time there, especially in that first season. Of course, your second season getting cut short due to COVID-19. But how do you say that you've developed your defensive side of games throughout the years you've had a chance to play for Leduc?
So my defensive game, I've kind of tried to like stay more aware of everyone on the ice. Try to kind of pick up a player and find open slots to get going up, breaking out of our own zone.
That's great to hear, of course. An important part of the game is all of those traits there, and it's great to know that you've had a chance to develop in that aspect of things. But just getting to play at this level, at the AAA level, at the U15 age group, how would you say that you developed in terms of just getting used to the speed of the game out there that was shown in the U15 age level?
Yeah, well, since I came up from Pee Wee, Bantam changed a ton and everyone was bigger and stronger and way faster. So I had to be way smarter. I had to know what to do before I got the puck and all of that stuff, just because everyone was so much more better.
Of course, probably one of the biggest changes is the hitting from peewee to
Mhm.
bantam. Of course, in bantam, getting to play a game that consists of hitting. How would you say that transition into that aspect of games into, just getting used to more of a physical game out there?
Yeah, at the start, it was pretty nerve-wracking seeing all those big boys starting laying out hits. But once I started getting through the season, I noticed that just keeping your feet moving, keep going with the puck, and never stopping, looking down at your puck, kind of helped me a lot. Not getting hit, moving around people, it helped a lot more.
Yeah, and, in terms of just the work you put in the gym, did you feel like or I guess, did you start, really emphasizing, working on your strength, putting the work in the gym, or have you, put in the work at the gym at all at this point?
Yeah, on the off seasons, because I've always wanted to make the top team and work harder and be better as a player. I've always in the off season, I've always trained, like worked out, shot pucks, and in the off season, I've went with the MCN and trained with them on ice with the coaching staff and all. It was great.
That's great, and we're gonna get to MCN, get into your time with them in just a little bit here in the show. But of course, you had to have gained a lot of confidence playing at that high level of AAA at that U15 age group. Just in terms of how confident you became as a person, not only on the ice but off the ice throughout your years of playing with that U15 team.
Yeah, on the ice, it just came through time and practice. I got way more confident. And off the ice, all my teammates were nice and kind, and they always led me on and were good leaders and told me what was right and wrong and just helped me grow as a player.
That's great, and, there's a lot of players, that I've talked to that either say they're more of that vocal person in the room, or they're more of that guy that's quiet in the room but leads by example out there on the ice. Which one of those guys would you say, you are? Where would you put yourself in that category?
Well, I came to Leduc right at Bantam, so I didn't really know anyone. So I was kind of shy and all. And then through on times, I grew up as a player and was really good on ice. Then my whole life started to just change and go better as then.
Looking at it, looking back at your time in Leduc, throughout those first 2 seasons of playing at, that U15 age group level, how would you say you would sum up your time in terms of how you came out of those 2 years of just, how you developed, how you became at the end of your time there with that U15, team in terms of what you became as a player, how you're satisfied with it?
Yeah, for sure. My first year Bantam U15, I I was okay at the start, and then through on time with my coaching staff, my teammates helping me along and leading me to better, practicing and working me hard and stuff. I just grew as a player and got way more confident with the puck, and yeah.
Last season was probably the worst year for hockey players out there because at the minor league level, because of just how COVID-19 took the season away. You had a chance to not play in many games, along with a lot of other almost well every player in Canada that past COVID season. But it also gave players an opportunity to work on stuff throughout the season that maybe they wouldn't have had a chance to if they were playing in game. How would you say that you really took advantage of that time you had to work on the stuff like your skills and stuff building throughout that COVID-19 canceled season in 2020 2021?
Yeah, so I was going after that year, I was going to U18. So I really wanted to make the AAA team. So I knew that I had a long time and period to train and work hard. So every single week I went and trained, like shot pucks, worked out, and then it turned out to be good and I made the team that I wanted. I've been way better as a player.
Let's talk about just that transition this year that you've made into playing for the U18 AAA team in Leduc. You've played 8 games so far, 0 goals, 2 assists for 2 points so far this season. Just talking about that transition of playing against older players, older competition, bigger, faster, stronger this season to start things off.
Yeah, it's definitely a bigger change. They're way faster, smarter with the puck, way stronger. It's been a lot harder to adapt, but the last couple of games I've been getting way better, way more confident with the puck with the big boys, and I've been growing way more better.
Just, you talked about the work you put in the off season. How would you say that that work that you've had a chance to put in the off season, of course, getting a chance to work with MCN Sports Advising, has really helped you get off to the type of start that you've had so far this year in Leduc?
Yeah. Well, Matt Gorman and Dustin Fosfeld, they definitely helped me out with MCN and the camps because I always went with the bigger boys and they helped me out just playing with them, like learning with the bigger boys, learning from them, and it just helped me lead to playing with the other boys.
And of course, like mentioned, we'll get into MCN Sports Advising more in depth, just Cash's time with them and a little bit here in the show. But Cash, looking at these first 8 games, what we say has probably been the strongest part of your game out there so far this season.
My defensive zone so far, I've let them not get so many scoring chances. I've definitely blocked a couple of shots, led them to the outside. Yeah, my plus and minuses have been very good this year.
And of course, you've said as the season has rolled along, you feel like you've become more confident as the game has went along, as the season has went along. How would you say that that confidence is translated into you being able to do those things like being good in coverage in your defensive zone, getting that puck out, and some other good stuff that you've done so far this year?
Yeah, well, as I've grown, I've known what to do and where to go and stuff. So it's just helped me kind of be more better as a player. And it's just helped me and my team be better and get some wins. And yeah.
What's the bonding been like this time around with this group of boys that you guys got this year? Of course, with you coming in like 2 years ago with that U15 program as the younger player, coming in playing with older boys this season on the team. How have you felt that you fit in and bonded with the team so far early on in the year?
Well, great. I love the team. I love the team that I'm on right now. The boys are awesome. They treat me respectfully and nicely. They've just been all nice to me. It's great.
That's great to hear. And, obviously, with this being your WHL draft year, I'm assuming that the coaching staff has put you out in a lot of situations to get you prepared, to get you ready to potentially get picked in the WHL draft.
Yeah, for sure. My coaches have definitely given me lots of opportunities to thrive in the hockey game. They've definitely put me out a lot, and it's awesome. And he's just let me kind of grow as a player throughout the games.
Just obviously a big goal for you, I assume, and we'll get into it later on in the show as the show goes along, is to go to the WHL and get drafted there, right? But other than that, what are some goals that you've set for yourself this season? In terms of what you want to accomplish with this Oil Kings team.
Well, for me as myself individually, I love to gain more confident with the puck offensively and hopefully get some more points throughout the year and just develop as a player, just to grow and then try to get to the next level of junior A or WHL.
Yeah, for sure. Of course, continuing to progress higher levels as you keep on going here in your hockey career is definitely the goal if you want to reach the highest level that you can. But before we go to commercial break here, Cash, of course, you said that you've started to add more offense to your game. Of course, something that you want to do is get more confident with the puck, get better in the offensive zone. But in terms of the offensive game that you've shown so far this year, you got 2 apples so far this year, 2 helpers, no goals. But how would you say that your offensive game has looked overall in terms of the stuff, not like the points, in terms of passing the puck out there, transitioning into the zone, leading the rush, stuff like that?
hmm I've gotten way better throughout the games I've played. Each game I've gotten way better offensively, gotten a lot more chances. I've been working on getting open in the blue line zone and just kind of getting ready for the puck and getting a quick shot on net. And then the apples came and I just kind of progression, yeah.
Yeah, that's great. And the stuff like that, getting more confident with the puck and, getting better in the offensive zone and all facets of the game is only going to come with time and the more confidence that you get. And it's great that these coaches have given you an opportunity to put yourself in a lot of opportunities out there. Would you say that you've had a chance to play in, not only a lot of even strength time out there, but as well as on the man advantage and the PK so far this year?
Oh yeah, my coaches have put me out like every single time on the power play. They've really given me lots of opportunities to thrive, and the penalty kill too. They've played me a lot. It's great.
That is great. And you know what? We're going to get into your time with MCN Sports Advising here coming up after the break, as well as talking about, coming up very soon, the WHL draft. We'll get into that coming up in the next part of this episode, the next part of this interview with Ganske, number 7, rookie defenseman, '06 defenseman of the U18 AAA Leduc Oil Kings in the Alberta Elite Hockey League. I'll be right back with Cash on this edition of the Prospect Show for more here on ASTV Productions. See ya after the break. Welcome back to the Prospect Show, everybody. This live edition of the show brought to you by TOVI Hockey, Caisse Financial Group, and Pilot-Mound Hockey-Academy. I'm joined by Ganske, number 7 of the Leduc Oil Kings in the Alberta Elite Hockey League. He's playing at the U18 AAA level this season, getting prepared to potentially get selected in the WHL draft. Cash, I'm sure you're excited about that. We're going to get into that in just a bit here, but yeah, just been asking Cash so far on the show about his career with the Leduc Oil Kings. Of course, before joining the U18 team, he played with the U15 team for in 37 games, as well as playing in 8 games so far this year with the U18 program, and also had a chance to, talk to Cash about who Cash is. That was in the first part of this episode before we went to our first commercial break. But we're going to get into your time now with MCN Sports Advising. Of course, you said you recently joined MCN. Just speak about, how you found MCN Sports Advising as that place to, get advised by.
Well, so my dad, he coaches my little son, and he found the power skating like skills development Matt Gorman. So he sent him out for a couple of skates with my little brother's team, and they've kind of just grown. And then he was an advisor, and I was kind of looking for one. So we kind of asked him, and he said for sure, and just kind of went on.
That's awesome, and definitely Matt Gorman and the squad he's got there at MCN, how he's built that sports advising company has just been phenomenal to see. Just talking about what they've been able to do for you, what they've been able to do for you in terms of the stuff that they've helped you grow in your game, as well as the stuff off the ice as well.
Mm-hmm. On ice, he's helped me a ton on the off season, just with all the skills, footwork, and all. He's helped me a lot with being way more confident with the puck and learning that stick handle way better and to generate speed off my feet and all. And then as a player too, just being respectful, being nice to others. He's helped me a lot.
Yeah, of course, being respectful, a huge part of what teams are going to be looking for, how you handle yourself off the ice. It's just not the on ice product that matters, it's the off the ice stuff as well. But just in terms of, diving into the things that, MCN really offers hockey players out there, why players should choose MCN if the opportunity comes for them to advise them throughout their careers.
He's a great dude. He has lots of connections with people. He definitely is friendly, and lots of people like him on different hockey teams. So he can definitely get you to other places and to develop and to get to the next level of hockey.
Now, what has been the coolest thing that MCN has shown you so far? The coolest thing that you've really liked about them that, you've had the chance to experience so far?
They're very friendly. They help me out a lot, just on and off the ice, just showing me what to do, helping me, and he's just let me grow as a player. Yeah.
That's great, and especially great to have them by your side while you're going to be potentially going to be selected into the WHL draft. Just what has been their message to you in terms of going into the draft? What they've told you to expect on draft day when it comes.
They said like just play my game. He said just keep going, working hard. Lots of people have been recognizing me so far in the early start of the season. He said just keep playing the way I have, and you've had a great chance of making the draft.
Now, Matt Gorman and his team, how have they really helped in terms of, getting you noticed by teams out there potentially in terms of them, getting an eye on you, getting a look at you here early on in the season in terms of them, potentially picking them to or picking you to be drafted to their franchise in the WHL.
Well, they said just play my game, and I have been, and then scouts come to our games and they noticed me. So then Matt and Dustin will contact them, chat with them, and just tell me more about myself. And then they've kind of helped me get my name more out to WHL teams, and they've just helped me. kind of be more noticed in the WHL league.
Yeah, and having a great support staff as well. Having MCN there by your side, definitely. I feel like for you, I'm not sure what your thoughts is on this, but taking a lot of pressure off of you in terms of guiding you, mentoring you throughout this process.
Like they say, don't really worry about all this stuff. He said, just go out, play your game, have fun. And he said everything will work out as it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, of course, the hope to get drafted to the WHL, a huge thing for players at this point, especially for a player in your life, having a chance to, have a life-changing opportunity happen. How long has this been on your mind in terms of you, hoping to potentially get drafted to the WHL to make it to that next level and get drafted to one of those franchises?
Yeah, it would be awesome to get drafted. It would be a cool experience. It'd be pretty cool to just be recognized, shown, be kind of more of a notice through other players. Yeah, it'd just be kind of cool.
Now, of course, it's still a long ways away. It's coming up soon, of course, the draft being December. But any plans for that day for you in terms of what you're going to be doing, where you're going to be, where you're going to be sitting when the draft is going to be going by as players start to get selected?
I'll definitely be there watching and listening. Just see what comes, and it doesn't really matter if I make it or not. Just knowing that I've been recognized with other players, with other teams, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, for sure. And, if it ends up with you not getting drafted to the WHL, it's not going to be the end for you. There's going to be opportunities outside of the WHL for you to continue, building your game in terms of, potentially getting noticed down the line. With the season you've had, of course, you're looking to, have fun, play your game out there. But how do you feel like this season so far has boosted your draft stock in terms of you potentially having a chance to get selected to the dub?
Yeah, well, this year a lot of my teammates have been helping me, like just like playing their game and helping me just play. We've all been playing very well and just helping me out playing, and I've been playing very well. So then WSL teams will recognize me and have a good chance of drafting me.
Now, of course, a huge part of any athlete's life is their support from parents. How's the support has been from your parents here with you going through this process so far this year in terms of getting prepared to potentially go get selected in the WHL?
It's been awesome. They've been really nice, kind. They've just been helping me along the way, just keeping me up to date and everything, helping me learn, and then still remembering to like still work hard and like all my other stuff other than hockey, like school and all, just keeping me track and everything. They've been great to me.
And last question for you here, Cash. Is there a team in particular, a type of franchise, a type of city that you like to get drafted to, or for you, it wouldn't really matter which franchise calls your name if they do call your name on during the draft?
No, I don't care really who picks me. As long as they help me out, develop me through the years, and give me good like a good education or something like that. That'd be pretty cool just to get drafted by anyone.
Yeah, for sure. No doubt about it. Well, Cash, it was awesome, fantastic getting to, get to learn about who you are, your interests, and, getting to talk to you about your hockey career so far with the Leduc Oil Kings, talking about the WHL draft, and of course, your time being advised with MCN Sports Advising. You made a good choice picking them. Fantastic team that Matt Gorman has built there, a fantastic brand that he's built. And you know what? It's going to be interesting to see. And I'm hopeful that, you have a chance to get drafted in the WHL. It would be awesome to see you get your name called by whatever franchise calls your name during the draft. You take care. Enjoy the rest of your Monday night. And you know what? Maybe we'll talk soon in the future. Thanks for joining the Prospect Show here tonight,
Yeah,
Cash.
no problem. Thanks for having me.
You take care, stay safe, and enjoy the rest of the season. Enjoy the process, enjoy the ride, because you only get drafted to the WHL once, right? And if that happens for you, that's going to be amazing. Cash Ganske, number 7 of the Leduc Oil Kings U18 AAA team in the Alberta Elite Hockey League, join the Prospect Show here tonight. We're going to take one last commercial break here. I'll be back here on the show without Cash for some final words here on this edition of the Prospect Show on ASTV Productions.
Welcome to Pilot-Mound Hockey-Academy, your world-class academic and hockey training facility created to maximize each student's athletic and academic potential. Blackjack Stewart Arena, home of the Buffalo, is inside the 46,000 square foot complex, as well as a curling rink and other facilities. The students have a unique combination of successful, well-rounded education at Pilot-Mound Collegiate Institute and the professional hockey training in an encouraging community. The years of experience of on-ice coaching propel our students to the next level, both mentally and physically, in a professional environment.
Welcome back to the Prospect Show, everybody. Cash Ganske, number 7 of the Leduc Oil Kings U18 AAA team in the Alberta Elite Hockey League, the AEHL, joining the show here on this Monday night, here on November 8th, to talk about, himself, who he is, his interests, his favorite hockey team in the NHL, his favorite player in the NHL, who he models his game after, as well as his time with the Leduc Oil Kings franchise. I guess we'll call it that, since he's played with the U15 AAA program there, as well as the U15 AAA program there. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I said U15, as well as, of course, the U18 AAA program this season. He's played 8 games so far. That was what was listed on Elite Hockey Prospects. And yeah, he's a WHL hopeful for the WHL draft this upcoming December. And he's also advised by MCN Sports Advising. Matt Gorman and a squad there do a wonderful job with all the players that they advise, all the players that they mentor. And of course, like I mentioned in the intro of the show, gonna have a player on from MCN Sports Advising on every week. I'm not sure if I said that in particular, but yeah, that's what's going to be happening every week here on the Prospect Show. We're going to have some MCN Sports Advising players that are with MCN Sports Advising come on the show, turning that into a segment. I just got to think of a name for the segment to really make it pop for you guys. And of course, we'll have Matt Gorman on the show, as well as some other advisors from MCN throughout the course of time here on the Prospect Show moving forward. So yeah, going to be a lot of fun moving forward, getting to talk to those guys. Always love to have Matt Gorman on the show. I only got to talk to him once, and Cash said it. He's an amazing guy. Not sure if he said that particularly, but I'm saying it. Matt Gorman, an amazing guy to not only talk to, but an amazing guy for these players at MCN Sports Advising to be mentored by, to be advised by, as they go through the journeys, the twists and turns, the ups and downs throughout their hockey life. And it's not only hockey for MCN; they also branched out to other sports as well, which is fantastic to see what Matt Gorman and his team have done to grow the brand of MCN Sports Advising. But yeah, I want to give a special thanks to Ganske, number 7 of the Leduc Oil Kings U18 AAA team, for coming on and being the guest in tonight's show. Best of luck to him and potentially getting drafted into the WHL. I'm hoping he gets his name called because he's a fantastic kid. Just talking to him seems like he nothing but positivity. Very respectful kid as well. It seems like he's a great person off the ice too. But yeah, a special thanks to you, the viewer, for tuning in as well tonight to this edition of the Prospect Show. And a special thanks to our sponsors as well in Caisse Financial Group, TOVI Hockey, and our good friends at Pilot-Mound Hockey-Academy for sponsoring tonight's edition of the show. This is going to be the end of this week's edition of the Prospect Show, but don't worry, we'll be back again next week on Monday night at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time for an all-new edition of the Prospect Show. Look on our social media closer to next Monday to see who the guest lineup will be, who we'll have on next week's edition of the show. And you guys can catch next week's edition of the show. Like, you could watch it tonight on Facebook at ASTV Productions, on our website at astvproductions.com, and as well as on our Twitter at Amateur Sports TV, knowing that we will probably go live for that one. And if you guys did see the promo for this episode, we were supposed to have TS Hockey Shooting co-founder Trevor Lackness on the show. I've kind of given up on him and to being a guest on the show for the meantime, because it seems like we can never get it lined up, can never get him on for an interview. But that's enough of me rambling, folks. I've been your host of the Prospect Show, Graeme Forsyth, signing off now. Until I see you next Monday, have a wonderful rest of your Monday night tonight. Stay safe out there. Have a wonderful rest of your week and a wonderful weekend as well. Until next time, everybody. Until next Monday night on the Prospect Show. I'll see you then. Peace out, everybody.